Welcome to Soccer As We Like It. The Man United director, Newcastle won, Manchester United won a game no Man United fan expected, considering the position where Newcastle are, and considering United hadn't played in 16 days. United fans were expecting at least 3 points to get them closer to the fourth spot. But now the situation is simply gone completely wrong. Today we are joined with Adam from Australia. Adam, welcome to the show. You are not as happy as you were yesterday.
No, mate. No, it was very disappointing. It was, people can bring out all the excuses they want about having COVID and not being able to, but the players just don't seem to want to respond. It was terrible. Look, I'm sure we're going to dive into it a lot more, and I've got a lot to say about a few players, and they're more the senior players as well.
Right.
It's not good, and it's not a good look for the club either.
Right. Is it a case of a lot of people, I'm just from what the reports were saying, if you did not know Rangnick was there, you'd have thought Ole was still there because of the laziness, the lack of the poor passing, the inability to want to make that move, want to go the extra mile. It's just like they just felt they could not be asked. It's like a pandemic of laziness is still with these players.
Well, my biggest issue with it is you've got senior players abusing junior players, and it's disgusting. Like, you got players like Ronaldo there that every time, say, Greenwood does something wrong or Rashford does something wrong, throws his hands up. Like, that's fucking inexcusable. You know, it's just inexcusable. And then you got Bruno there that thinks his shit don't stink. Like, those two are just constantly whinging and bitching all game, and it's not a good look for the team. It's not a good look for the younger players. The younger players are out there doing their best. They want to hold their position. These blokes are running on their names, so they don't ever get dropped. You know how I feel about Ronaldo. Look, you can't deny Ronaldo what he's done in his career. It's been absolutely brilliant. But, mate, he should be a leader out there. He should be guiding these younger players, having a go at them.
So how do you guide players on the field when they're under so much pressure? In training, yes, but when you're guiding, you're supposed to lead by example or correct when there's mistakes. Give an example?
Leading by example isn't abusing him, is it? So, you just get up to him and say to him, yeah, it's all right, let's go this way next time or something like that, Not throw your hands up in the air or shake your head at the player or, like, everyone's giving Rashford stick. And I agree, he isn't playing the best, but every time Rashford takes a shot and he misses, Ronaldo throws his hands in the air. Oh, I'm in a better position. You should have passed off to me. Every time Ronaldo takes a shot and fucks up, no one says anything to him, do they? It's bullshit. Like, Ronaldo's throwing air swings. He's trying to shoot from parallel with the goal to the side of the goal when he should be trying to cut it back or trying to control out. Like, it's fucking annoying. And then you got everyone's trying to play through Maguire. Like, if you watch the game, half the game was played through Maguire. And midfield didn't want the ball. Midfield didn't want the ball, so we're playing square to Maguire. And next thing, Ronaldo and that are making runs. The space between the fullbacks and the forwards, and, well, basically our midfield was playing up in the forwards, it's ridiculous. You never had any player coming to look for the ball to actually create someone. Bruno's walking around the pitch saying, go this way, go that way. Fucking come and get the ball. Come and get the ball off Maguire. You're 10 times more skillful than Maguire. What's Maguire going to do? All he does is close the space down and then, what do you call it, throws the long ball over the top. So what do you do? Like, it's just, like, we've got a midfield that's supposed to have creative players. Is that not the idea of the midfield, to have creative players? I'm pretty sure that's what it is, But they're not even looking for the ball. Come back and get it. Come back and get it off him. We started to go forward when Matic came back on. But then even then, there was no midfield coming to Matic. Matic would receive the ball and try and play a pass. Try and play a fucking 30-metre pass into the forwards. And they're having to hit the ball that hard on a wet pitch. They're struggling to control it. So everyone can sit there and talk about, oh, yeah, the passes are being sprayed. It's fucking pissing down rain. If he's going to hit a 20-metre pass, he's hitting it at pace. So, mate, the midfield should be working together, and it's not even close.
From reports are saying the midfield was no match to Newcastle's midfield. United were not even in the game in terms of midfield. That this was one of the worst midfield performances they've seen. That they didn't even know who was worse, McTominay or Fred. That they had a nightmare of a game. That Newcastle's midfield was so good because they follow instructions. That what you saw between Fred, Bruno, the people who played in United's midfield. The reports are saying the guys who played in midfield today were absolutely rubbish.
Mate, we sit on this podcast and we blame the managers all the time. When's it come time to blame? Look, when Ollie was in, I really struggled to blame Ollie. And I always made the players accountable first. Today was proof of that. They can't follow instructions. They cannot follow instructions. It's fucking ridiculous. Half these players are so in it for themselves. It's bullshit. You can clearly see that. You know, you can clearly see that they're in it for themselves. They're not. United aren't working as a team or as a unit.
That's what the reports are saying. They're saying the midfield, Newcastle's midfield was so well organized. They followed instructions. They played United off the park, especially for the first half. I mean, they said the girl, I saw some good save he made in the first half, and it could have been worse than that. Had the girl not come to United's rescue, it could have been that United didn't even deserve a point from this game.
No way, man. Look, let's break it down in an defensive perspective, right? So Newcastle play out again. Bruno is the only one pressing. So therefore, as soon as Bruno starts pressing, we're missing a player in the midfield straight away. It was like under Ollie again. When we had Carrick managing, I think it was the first game, everyone pressed as a team.
Against Chelsea.
Non-existent in the last two games. Non-existent. What happened to that? Is that gone?
Or is that
COVID's
the players are lazy, are not working hard enough to keep up that pressing formula that Rangnick's trying to impress. So going back to that lazy attitude of, I can't be bothered, I can't be asked. That some of them that some of the players who have been there 3 to 4 years need to look at themselves in the mirror and call it a day, like they don't deserve to wear the shirt. That it was really bad today. I'm going to watch the game over again tonight. I saw the first half. I wasn't impressed. I saw the goal we conceded. Mistake from Varane. It was just
it was a shit mistake by Varane. It was a shit mistake. But then it still shouldn't have. Like Maguire turns like the Titanic, mate.
Yeah,
he turns like the Titanic, mate. Like it's inexcusable.
I think he could have made an attempt to because the guy's going to shoot with his right foot. Put a tackle in that he blocks the shot. It's like they're turning their backs on it. I'm like, why do you turn your back, giving him more space to aim for?
Mate, it's inexcusable. And, and we're lucky not another time where Maguire got turned inside out. No,
he said he was doing so much twist dancing that he was always being turned inside out all day today.
Is Lindelof must still have COVID, does he?
He tested positive 2 days ago.
Yeah, so what happened to Eric Bailly? We couldn't play him?
Yeah, they said, I don't know why they didn't play him.
Look, so we're up against it. Look, I don't want to blame Rangnick for what happened today because it's the same shit under Ollie. So you can't. I don't want to sit here and say it was all. It was, Ollie's fault that we weren't winning games and shit. But it's more and more looking like it's the players. So what do we do? Go sack Rangnick now? Well, it's not fucking Rangnick. It's the players can't follow instructions. You know what I mean? Like in the second half, I didn't even know what the formation was. I couldn't tell. I honestly, I wrote to a few people in our supporters club, and I'm saying, can someone please tell me what the formation was in the second half? Fred came off in the second half, and so did Greenwood. If Greenwood was to blame what happened in the first half, you're taking the piss. But then when you look at the lineup, I thought Sancho should have been starting. So it's so irritating.
So they like I said, on my way home, I listened to people's podcasts, this is other YouTubers, and they kept coming back to the defense was struggling badly to cope with Saint-Maximin, especially the two pairing of Maguire and Varane. Maguire was always being turned left, right, turn right. He turned someone that you would think was doing the twist. I had to laugh.
Oh, mate, he's a disgraceful defender. He really is. And the part that pisses me right off, and I will blame the manager for, is he keeps getting picked.
Yeah.
I don't give. He's not a captain. He's not a captain. He's not even a player. And I'll sit here till I'm dead saying Maguire should not be the captain and he shouldn't be starting for us because he's just
that captaincy is keeping him in the team. You know that, right? If he wasn't the captain, I know he would have been dropped so many. Even Ole, and you see, they say the mentality is seeping through, as in when you don't play well, you still get picked. You're still guaranteed a start play. You play lazy. You don't work hard enough. You're still going to get picked. And that is seeping into you know what? Anyway, we always started, even though we didn't play well. But
I'm not going to sit here all podcast and blame Maguire because when you've got players running at you, a midfield running at you the whole game, you're working your ass off. I used to be a fullback and I know what it's like. If your midfield's not working for you, by the end of the game, you're fucking rat shit, you know? And that's what was happening, you know. We were pressing that high, right. And actually we weren't even pressing. We were just because our midfield wasn't even looking for the ball. So Maguire would have to pop one over the top, you know, to try and score a goal. Now, if we don't have good enough players to build to score a goal, then what's happening? Well, fucking listen to the ball. We've got Cavani, Ronaldo, Bruno, Rashford. These are the players that Sancho. These are the players that are on any team would love these players. Newcastle would love these players, you know. And I think Sancho played well when he came on.
What could the midfield have done differently today?
Mate, they could have come and got the ball off the fullbacks for starters.
Right. So where were they?
You know, they're defending the whole game. It's not their job to come and build play. It's their job to receive the ball, come and get the midfielder should come and receive it and then create something. That's their go. That's Bruno's game. Now, if Bruno's bitching out because Ronaldo's here or because Bruno's not the superstar, yeah, you can't sit here and say Bruno's been playing well all season because he hasn't.
No, he's been off form, mate.
He's been shit. And I particularly watched him once we copped the goal to see what he would do, especially in the second half when we were still struggling to get the goal. He would just walk. He would just stand in the midfield and tell Maguire or Varane where to pass the ball. He never come and receive the ball. Okay, a couple of times he chased down players to defend the game. But, mate, we need you scoring goals or we need you creating. That's your job.
Right. So, how were Fred and McTominay today?
Fred and McTominay, yeah, they're getting carved up. Carved up, you know, but, you know, he took Fred off in the second half. Well, Fred was having his normal shit game, even though he did a couple of good performances before we went to COVID. But
right.
Get away from the 2 sixes. For fuck's sake, get rid of it. But we're still doing the same shit. What's the lineup? 4-2-2-2-2-2. Like, we're still doing it. 4-2 in front. Second half, I'm sure the second half wasn't played like that. It wasn't 4-2-2-2. It wasn't. It was 4-1. You know? So just get away from it. It just does not work for us. We'll play a 4-3-3. For God's sakes, man. It's so irritating to watch. It's just.
So the excuse of not playing in 16 days, you are not buying that excuse of they're a bit rusty. You know, the players are a bit rusty.
Newcastle go through COVID. Did they play every game? Oh, no, mate, we're playing these players. Yeah, okay, they'll be a bit rusty. But, mate, let's be serious. How many weeks was it? 2?
16 days, 2 weeks and 2 days.
2 weeks and 2 days. So you're telling me that's it. That's the end of them. That we might as well just fucking pack the bus up and go because we haven't played in 2 weeks. Give me a break, man. Like, fucking hell. It's a disgrace. They should be embarrassed. And then you got Ronaldo fucking walking off the pitch, not even talking to his fans or saying thank you to the fans. Like, he's been doing that for the past month.
Anytime he has a bad game, he takes it personal on himself and don't think he's worthy of even saying anything. He just wants to.
You don't think the other players are taking it personal as well?
You know,
Give me a
because
break,
he
man.
used to do that. He used to do that in Madrid, as in he's hanging himself in shame. Like I've got to go look at myself again. That's his mentality. Which, hey, I really don't
He's the
care what he
same,
does. But
mate.
how were players like? I mean, Cavani came on. I saw the cross.
Cavani done his usual shit. He worked hard. He works hard, mate. Yeah, and he's like the type of player. Last podcast, I said when you asked me, they were talking about Martial and Cavani going. We need Cavani there because he just works.
Yeah,
he works, and I think he respects the younger players. And I'm not saying Ronaldo doesn't respect the younger players, but I think Cavani's the type of bloke. If Ronaldo had to go at one of the younger players, Cavani would step up and tell Ronaldo to take it easy, and that's not the way you fucking go about it. Yeah.
right. Wow.
But we need him there.
So are you ready to do a player rating? Because I know you're gonna have some. You're gonna have some. So I think I'm gonna see some ones and twos today.
Yeah.
Right.
Mate,
Right. All right. Are you ready?
Yeah.
De Gea.
De Gea. You got to give him again. 9 out of 10. He was our man of the match by far, man. By far. Mate, he's picking them out of the top corner. Reaction saves. Again, man of the match, without a doubt. But you know what? Our fans will go and vote for Ronaldo because he'll score a goal in a couple of weeks.
Today everywhere was man of the match, De Gea. Delo.
I thought Delo struggled today. I really did. I thought he struggled. Yeah, and look, we've only got 3 subs. When we made 2 at halftime, and I thought today we were under the pump a lot, and we probably did need that defensive fullback. So Wan-Bissaka probably should have come on, but then we needed to score the goal as well. So, yeah, I'm going to give him, mate, it was 1-1. You got to give him a 4.
4.
Yeah.
Telles.
Yeah. Telles, he was trying hard. He was trying hard, but then he did get a couple of good crosses in from memory, and he was actually in one stage, the 25th minute of the game. I said to one of my daughters, I said, mate, this guy's a professional footballer, and he looked beat already in the 25th minute. He was struggling big time. So I don't know whether he was one of the ones with COVID or what, but I mean, there was a fair few Christmas photos out with him. So I'm there thinking he wasn't one of the ones, but he looked like he was off his face in the 25th minute. So yeah, I'm going to give him a 4 as well. You know, yeah.
Varane
made that mistake. It was bad. Look, you can excuse him because he hasn't played for a while.
Yeah.
You know, he hasn't played.
First game back, isn't it?
First game back.
Yeah.
And you know, looking at it, it is a good game for him to come back on. But you know, when you look after the game, you're just thinking, "Fuck, he's had a mare." But he did make some good tackles as well. You know, so I'm not going to go and give him a 5 because that mistake was just shit. And so I'm going to give him a 4 as well. Maguire, fuck, he's shit, mate. Give him 2. I got nothing to say about the bloke except he's shit.
Right. McTominay. Forget McTominay.
Yeah, look, he was trying hard, but you know, he's playing as the 6. I think he was the one that got subbed for. Did he get subbed for Matic? I'm not sure. Can't remember. I was fucking steaming. What do you call it? Yeah, I'm gonna give him a 3 because he didn't show much. Yeah. Fred, mate, he was turning over ball. Couple of heavy passes. Couple of passes to him missed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I saw a lot of that.
Yeah, it wasn't good. I'm gonna give him a 3 as well. Most of your boys would probably give him a 2 or a 1, but yeah, I'm a little bit kinder. I'm gonna give him a 3. He was just fucked. Bruno, you know what? Fuck him. I'm giving him a 2. Actually, I'm going to give him a 1 because he wasn't even looking for the ball. He was not looking for the ball. And people can watch this video and question me about it, but I want them to go back and watch it because when we were under the pump and when we ended up 1-1, and I'll go back and watch it myself, but what do you call it? He wasn't even interested in looking for the ball. He wasn't interested. He would just stay on the right-hand side of the pitch and facing his fullbacks and telling them to play it wide, Come and receive the ball.
But he was conducting affairs instead of being involved in the affairs.
Yeah, he thought he was some fucking conductor, you know? It's seriously, man. Like, he's there going, you go this way, and he's telling Varane and Maguire where to play. You know, come and receive the ball. You come and take a couple of touches off him. There was a stage there where Varane's passing to Maguire. Maguire takes the ball forward. That's one thing I will give Maguire credit for. He's trying to look for an option, and there was no option. You know, time and time again, Maguire nearly got caught on the ball. People go and blame Maguire for that, getting caught on the ball. But he's getting caught on the ball because there's no option in front of him. So you've got Newcastle setting up defensive blocks, but if a midfielder's not coming to receive the ball, then we're going to be screwed. So then he has to go back across again.
Exactly.
By the time he goes and takes 4 touches, you know, they're up on top of your face. So you got midfielders that need to come and receive the ball and build something.
Right. Let's go to the forward line. Mason
Greenwood, yeah. Look, he had a couple of shots there, and he was trying hard. But I really think the senior players are putting a lot of pressure on him. I would actually like to see Ralf Rangnick play him off the bench. You know, just play him off the bench. I think Sancho's got a lot. Yes, he's got a lot more experience than Greenwood. I say it on every podcast. I'm a massive fan of Greenwood, but I think you're just going to have to build him into a game. Because United's in such a high pressure situation at the moment, it's not good for a young fella to come into these games and be told, not so much told off, but seeing body actions from senior players whenever you make a shot. So he's not even making a mistake. He'll take a shot. And body language from senior players are like dropping their heads or throwing their hands up in the air. So, yeah, look, you can't give Mason more than a 4, I suppose. You can't, because like nothing was happening. So,
Rashford.
Yeah, look, I see a lot of players saying, people saying that Rashford needs a rest, you know, or he needs to come off the bench as well. But who comes in for him? Well, I suppose you bring Sancho on for him or something like that, especially with this lineup 4-2-2-2-2. Yeah, so yeah, look, Rashford had a couple of good shots there in the first half that the keeper really struggled with. So I don't know where people are coming from. You can't give him. You can't. Average today is a 4, but they're all below par. That's for sure.
Right. Yeah. Ronaldo
is the same, man. I'm going to try and be kind to Ronaldo. Everyone else is, but I just get peed off with his attitude. His attitude is, unless it's happening for him, it's just. And I've got to say, I was that type of player too. If I was having a shit game, I used to have the shits with me bad, and it probably affected my team as well. You know, so and mind you, mine was a park football, so that probably never helped either. But look, you know, Ronaldo's a lot more professional than any of us are. So he shouldn't be there dropping heads on young players and stuff like that.
I think he demands too much. So in such a short time that he's been, he needs to realize this was not the 2004, 2008, 2019
Correct.
With Rooney, Tevez. That was on another level. This is, he needs to realize they can't be like that. It don't work like that.
Look, one thing I'll give Ronaldo, and he's done it in a couple of games now where he has had the shits and you know, and he's come out and he's cleaned up a Newcastle player. He's absolutely pulverized him. And, you know, I like that. And it was good to see Ronaldo step up and do that for the team. Come in, just knock out a player and cop a yellow card. Whether it was out of frustration because he felt he should have had a couple of fouls. But Yeah, these referees in the Premier League know what Ronaldo's like. He's looking for a foul all the time and
And
everything
sometimes
like that.
and that is the bad thing. And even sometimes now when there's some genuine fouls, they're not giving, which is just
That's
stupid.
right. That's right. You
And
know?
it's,
So look,
it
you
literally
can't
it
get
has to be
behind
so
Marta
it
anyway.
has to be so obvious, as in really bad, whereby you nearly took the guy's leg off. Then okay, that's a bad tackle, and defenders are getting away with it, and it's not right. Stop
Yeah.
judging a player. Just do the right thing. If you see it's a foul, it's a foul. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Look, there was a couple there that maybe Ronaldo should have got, but there was a couple there. It's like, fuck, man, get on with the game. And Bruno does the same shit, mate. Man, he is worse than Ronaldo. Bruno, he's a disgrace. I didn't think I'd ever see this out of Bruno, and it's and the most frustrating thing is he can't handle that Ronaldo's in the team. He can't handle it. You can clearly see it. Bruno wants to be the number one man, and well, if you want to be the number one man,
He's been
start working your ass
he's been
off.
he's been struggling this season. Even before Ronaldo came, he's not been the same. He seems like he's burnt out on all. When a car's burnt out, all is turbocharged, all the cylinders are all burnt out, just barely just making it,
Look,
just moving.
the other thing is you don't know what the managers said, but I find it hard to believe that Ralf Rangnick has told Bruno not to come looking for the ball.
I
Now,
doubt it.
when you go and watch the game, you tell me if I'm wrong. If you see Bruno standing around being a conductor on the pitch, in attack, I'm talking about. You tell me if I'm wrong. It's plain as day. You see it that he is standing there trying to coordinate something instead of having the ball at his feet,
Wow.
and it's so friggin' irritating to watch. Just go get it. Your job is to set up play. Go get it.
Right. So what did you give Ronaldo?
Ronaldo, I'm going to give him a 5.
5.
He was par. He was. There was times where he was in space and probably should have received the ball.
So the passing was really poor today. I heard the passing was. I saw the first half passing. It was terrible. Short passes too short. Over passes too long. I saw a pass Radford made to someone on the right wing. Like, no one's gonna get that, bro. No one. It's too far.
The pitch was that. It was raining that up. It was raining. The pitch was well wet, and it's trying to switch play with a 60-meter pass or something like that. Is
no way.
But that comes down to the midfield again.
Yeah.
You don't have to do that if your midfield's working for you. You don't have to do that. But we had to do that because our midfield was hiding again.
Yeah, they used that word came up a lot. The midfield pair of McTominay and Fred it's like when they didn't want the ball, when they got the ball, they misplaced the ball. So the possession lost again.
That's Bruno as well. As well. I won't sit here and accept it was just Fred and McTominay. Bruno was happy to take all the. It just seems to be since we've had a crowd, Bruno can't handle the crowd. Okay, you can't tell me that Bruno has been good since we've had a crowd. Look, he had a hat. Yeah. Sure. Okay, look, in saying that, he got the hat-trick first game and stuff like that.
Sure, ever since
then,
I've not seen anything. I haven't.
Yeah,
I think, like I said, he looks burnt out. It looks like he's burnt out. But they really have to get it together because now, with the point drop today, 4th spot is looking harder. They're now 7 points from 4th place, and that is not going to be easy. And with games in hand, which you can't even guarantee. Look, Brighton, Brentford, Newcastle.
Mate, at one stage, what made it worse today was look, it didn't help Newcastle going down all the time. They're going down, milking for penalties and milking for free kicks. They were milking injuries as well. And it was slowing the play down, and it did not help. I think it was Jolinton, I think they call his name is. For frig's sake, mate. He's one of the biggest blokes on the pitch. And he's going down, grabbing his calf, grabbing his ankle. He's a Brazilian boy. And it's like, mate, you're driving me nuts at the moment.
So let's go to the subs. Matic, what are you giving?
Matic came on. He tried. It's funny when I did throw the message through to a few of our in the supporters club. They brought Matic on, and I went, thank God Matic is going to come on. He's going to try and create and everything like that. And he was genuinely trying to break the line and create something.
Right.
But the rest of his midfielders weren't looking for the ball. So he had to look for a 20-metre pass or a 10-metre pass that just kept getting intercepted because Newcastle's defensive block was set up really well. And then they'd come on the counter-attack. So therefore, again, Maguire and Varane were under the pump. So Matic, look, I'm going to give Matic a 6. I thought he went well when he came on.
Okay. Who else came on? Sancho? Sancho didn't come on, did he?
Sancho, yeah. I'm going to give Sancho straight up 6. He was playing that role where this is actually where I still get confused, where he plays across the forwards and comes back across the forwards and stuff like that. He seems to have that little bit of a free role. But he was trying. He was generally, look, I think there was one cross that went astray. But I'm going to give Sancho a 5.
5.
Yeah.
Wow. What are you going to give?
Cavani.
Cavani.
He scored, trying hard again. I'm going to give Cavani a 7. I really am. He tries. You can see he chases everything. He sees he's there for the team. He really wants to score that goal. And I'm not saying the other players don't want to score the goal. And I'm not saying, they're not playing for the team. But Cavani is not abusing his own players. He's trying to make something work all the time, whether he's in defense or in attack. He's there trying hard consistently. He'll chase every ball down. He'll chase attackers down. That's the kind of attitude you need from all our players.
Right. So, during the first half, I was seeing Rangnick. You could see he was giving a shout to the players on the touchline. Some of the broadcasters were saying, the British commentators who were going via NBC, who were at the stadium, were saying he should not be doing that. He's distracting them. And I'm thinking, you want the guys to sit down. You want him to sit down like Ole and just watch the game. If he's not happy, he will react. They say, he's not encouraging them. He's distracting them by screaming at them. I'm like, wow. This guy.
He's the manager. If they're not playing to his structure.
That was a stupid comment to make.
Where was that? Talk Sport or something like that?
No. NBC. NBC coverage, and they have
the commentators love this shit. I was getting messages through the game saying, you listen to the shit these commentators are going on with. They love this shit. United's always up against it, no matter how they play. Even when they play well, they get told they don't play well.
Right.
So I'm happy for my manager to stand on the sideline and abuse his players or tell the players
if
what
not
to do.
Happy with what he's seen.
I want that. Well, I want them to be playing the way our manager wants them to play.
And the players should know he's not pleased at what he's seen, not sitting there looking at the monitor.
Yeah. No. I want my manager
whispering to Carrick and McKenna. No. He would stand by the line and say, what are you doing?
Look, the part I don't get out of the whole thing, 3 games ago, we pressed as a team. And everyone was happy. I think we drew the game, didn't we? I think we drew the game.
That was against Crystal Palace. We won that game.
Was that game, was it?
Yeah, it was
it Villarreal?
Crystal Palace.
Okay, so it was Crystal Palace where we all pressed as a team. Was it that game, was it?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Everyone loved it. Did they not?
Norwich, we fell off.
That's right. We got the late winner. Was it a late winner?
A late winner.
Palace? Yeah. Yeah. When we pressed as a team. And everyone really liked it. And if we had taken the draw away in that game, everyone would have gone, you know what? We can see what they're trying to do. That's not a bad draw. But then the next 2 games after that, it's just been a shit show.
Yep, it has
It's just been a shit show. They haven't been working as a team. We've got Bruno again running through the forwards to press a goalkeeper that's only going to dish off anyway. While Ronaldo and Rashford and every other fucker's just standing back and watching Bruno just press. And then we get played against, 10v9 in the turnaround.
What would you give Rangnick selection, tactics, and substitutions today?
Because he plays that 2-2-2, and I really don't 100%. I'm not going to sit here and pretend I understand that. But the way I look at it, I would have liked to. Sancho's been playing well. I don't understand why Sancho never started today. I don't get that. I'm still disappointed that we're going with Frederick McTominay, I've got to say. And I understand the stats. Today, I'm glad you mentioned his name, because today is the day that we needed somebody in that midfield to hold that ball up. And
they even mentioned that first half they could have done with a Pogba. Someone to hold the ball and look for
100%.
Because they said Fred and McTominay and Bruno were literally non-existent.
Bruno should have been subbed. He should have been subbed. And bring Van der Beek on to control that midfield. You know Donny's going to be looking for the ball, whether he makes a mistake or not. And he did make the mistake a couple of weeks ago, or when we played, he did make that mistake, clearly. But Bruno wasn't interested today. He was not interested. You can clearly see it. But he's not looking for the ball. He was not looking for the ball. And everyone says it. In tough situations, where's Bruno? We never see him.
True.
You know, so Donny van der Beek today would have been, in my opinion, ideal. So
that's what everyone said.
Yeah. I'm going to give Ralf. Look, he made the sub at halftime for Cavani and Sancho, so it did turn the game. It did turn the game around. We got the goal. So you've got to give him a par for that. And so I'll give him. And it's hard to judge because I don't know whether the players are responding to him or the players just don't understand what he's talking about. Because 3 games that when we played Palace, it looked all promising. Ever since then, it's just been crap.
Yes, the Norwich game were lucky to get a penalty.
Yeah.
Other than that, Norwich outplayed us. Now again, outplayed again by Newcastle.
And we're talking about the bottom 2 teams here.
And now we're playing Burnley, who's another bottom team on Friday. Was it Friday or Thursday? Got Burnley. So now I'm going to ask you, with the Burnley game, literally in the next 4 days, 3 days, whichever match day is, Burnley, second to the third to bottom, they're the bottom 3. What do you expect from United after seeing today's performance against another bottom team, Newcastle? We struggled against Norwich. We just barely took a penalty and left. We got a point today. What do you expect against Burnley? We are dropping points. We can't keep dropping points at this point. We're already too far behind the top 4 already. Yes, we have games in hand, but those are not the points in the bag.
I can't. As much as I want to sit here and be positive about Manchester United, as you know, I'm always trying to be positive. But after today's performance and the performance before, it just doesn't look positive, does it? It just doesn't. Everyone came into this season with so much high energy.
Optimism and all.
Yeah.
They've got Sancho, got Varane, challenging for the title. We are 23 points behind, 23 points behind Man City. I saw them against Leicester City.
Look, I can't see us improving against Burnley. Actually, I'm going to sit here and say I think we're going to struggle against Burnley. I really believe we are.
Burnley played 4-4-2.
I can't sit here and say we're going to be better against Burnley. I can't sit here and say that. My honest opinion is I don't know what's going to happen. And you know what? Ralf Rangnick's probably in the same situation. He can go and give them what they want, but I don't think he knows what's going to happen because you can't. He's supposed to be one of the best tacticians going around, Ralf.
Yeah.
And these players just don't get it. They don't get it.
They're lazy.
Now, when you've got players there that don't want to...
They don't want to adapt. They don't want to... I mean, okay. We know Oli was out of his element in that. We get it. But also, they've got to also say some of the players were poor. Let's call that. Now you got a better coach and the players are still underperforming.
So that's it's on the players, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we've got rid of Ollie, but the performances are still the same.
Right.
So here's everyone blaming Ollie, but the performances are still the same. So it's got to be at some stage where people have got to just go, it's the players. But in saying that, I still don't understand. And people can sit there and talk about Bailey. You know, he always has that shocker. Well, it's got to be better than Maguire having a shocker every single game.
Every single game.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'd rather a player F up every third game than F up every game. And that's what's happening with Maguire. You know, and when Varane's struggling, then fuck it, we've got no hope.
Tell me about it. So, as it is, we've dropped 2 points today. First game is 16 games. First game is 16 days. We've got 2 postponed games. We still need to be played against Brighton and Brentford. 2 teams we can't even guarantee if we're going to beat both of them, which should have been like 6 points. So against the small teams, again, we seem to not know what to do because the small teams seem to be more organized, if I should say that. We saw Norwich. We barely beat Norwich. We got hammered by Watford. We couldn't beat Newcastle today. Now we've got Burnley coming right up the corner. What can we beat Burnley? Don't even know anymore.
Did you see in the Newcastle game where they hit the post?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Twice.
I saw the
Twice
highlights. I see the highlights. And
yeah.
All I can say is it was just a poor overall team performance. What would you give the overall team performance today on a scale of 1 to 10? The whole team, subs,
the whole team
collectively.
Oh, it's below par. Mate, we spoke about how many goals. We spoke about how many goals Newcastle's conceded in this calendar year.
Yeah.
You know, we spoke about that.
You and Ben said three goals. We couldn't even get 2, let alone 3.
Right, and we didn't even look like. We did apply pressure. We did apply pressure to score. But we didn't even look like scoring when we did apply the pressure.
Yeah.
I even think Cavani's was a shank that went in.
Yeah.
Because he had the initial shot.
Yeah, blocked.
And then
it came back to him.
It came back to him, and I think it's come off the side of his boot. I don't think he intended to put it there. But anyway, it went in. I've got to say, I was excited when it went in. You know? But as a whole, mate, it's a 3 or a 4. It's only for me, it's only De Gea that keeps the average up. And poor De Gea has to put up with a performance of a 3 or a 4 when he's at a 9 out of 10.
It's sad. So Burnley coming up around the corner. Do you have anything to predict, or you want to think about it again when we do our next pre-match preview against Burnley in the next 2 days? Or you want to think about it and talk about Burnley, saying what you want to predict, what score is going to come out, or you want to get this out of your system?
Going to change. I'm predicting nothing's going to change. I really do. At the end of the day, they're not going to get much time on the pitch again, are they?
Right.
You know, so unless there's some kind of miracle, I can't sit here and say next game we're going to come out and we're going to win 3 or 4-0, 5-0 against another bottom team, because we haven't proven that in the past.
Right.
So I can't sit here and say that we're definitely going to come out. Well, what do you think? Do you think we're going to come out and
against Burnley? I think as also today, the performance.
It's at home too, isn't it? It's at home.
Yes, home. It was a woeful performance. I think they would sit themselves down and get act together. I think we'll beat Burnley. But another performance like this, even if they draw or drop points, they need to kiss 4 players goodbye at this point. Seriously. Because
I think the next game's at home. They've got to come out and perform for the fans.
They have to.
They have to perform for the fans, which they should be doing that every game.
They should. Well, it might be behind closed doors. We don't know yet if it's going to be behind closed doors with the UK protocol getting more and more. So we just have to wait and see. But they can't afford to drop points against Burnley. There is just no way, because we're already 7 points behind the 4th team with 2 games in hand, and no guarantee we're going to win those 2 points, those 2 games. So today should have been 3 points, regardless. 3 points should have been.
But I think the Arsenal game got cancelled today. Did that game get cancelled?
I think
I'm pretty sure.
I'm not sure if it did.
I think it got postponed.
Right.
Because I didn't see. Let's have a quick look. I didn't see. Yeah, there's no Arsenal. Arsenal's supposed to play today as well, but their game's been postponed.
Right.
Yeah, I thought I heard something
So
like that.
you are predicting, no, you don't think anything's going to change.
No, I don't think anything's going to change.
Wow.
Look, the only advantage I would say is we're playing at home. We're playing at home, and now you can see the Newcastle team were really playing for their crowd.
Yes.
They're really playing for their crowd. There's a lot of encouragement around the club since they've had the sponsor and stuff like that, the new owner.
Eddie Howe's a good coach, though. Eddie Howe's a good coach.
He is very good, yeah. But let me put it to you like this: if Eddie Howe was available at the time we're looking for a coach, do you think Manchester United fans would want him as a coach? No, they wouldn't.
No.
They wouldn't want him as a coach. But yet he can get his Newcastle team to perform like that against us. So it just shows how poor we are.
Yeah.
We're a mid-table team, if not
For
below that.
For more standards, yes, we are.
Yeah.
So, wow.
It's an absolute embarrassment.
Today was, you see, I'm trying to look for a lining in the sky, a shining lining to say, today was a bad day in the office after a long day away from the office. Now you've gone to the office, you've had a bad performance. Now you have another opportunity to rectify this on Thursday or Friday against Burnley. Can they do it? That's the big question. I think they could. I think they'll pull it out.
I think with the right attitude, they can do it most definitely. You look at the players. I think it's insane the players we've got.
What I'm worried about is they'll make that easy game more difficult than it actually is. You see what I mean?
We said it on the last podcast. Half the time, United causes their own problems.
Mm-hmm.
And that just hasn't changed. So,
like you said, Maguire's going to start. Maguire's going to start. He's the captain. It is what it is, mate. It is what it is. But we're going to do.
Look, it might look. Fred got subbed at half time, so I'm really hoping Matic will start the next game, and
Van der Beek.
He's going to play that 4-2-2-2. So, I really hope Matic is starting, and you would think next to Matic would be McTominay, wouldn't you?
Right. Yes.
And then in front of him, you got Bruno.
I think they should play Van der Beek, Matic, and Bruno in midfield.
Yeah, I agree totally. Yeah,
I'll try that.
Yeah,
and start Sancho, Ronaldo, and Rashford, or Cavani, Ronaldo, and so Ronaldo could go left, Cavani in the middle, and Sancho on the right.
Well, that means Rashford doesn't play because you got to play
Rashford to come on in the second half.
Yeah, Rashford. Yeah, I totally agree. Look, Sancho deserves to start.
Yeah.
And if he's got to play beside Ronaldo, you can see it's not. It's a really weird setup. I've really got to look into it. The 4-2, how once play starts.
It is.
It's really weird.
It is.
Look, I can't sit here and say I understand it. I should understand it because my daughter actually played it not last season, the season before.
Right.
And and I was part of the management team at the start of that. And it was very interesting trying to understand it. Sorry?
Did you get fired? The whole coaching
staff? No, I was managing a female team and I wasn't really comfortable with it. So I was sort of putting
want to
towards the coaching. Yeah, not that I wasn't involved that way. It's more if something went wrong in the dressing rooms and stuff like that, you need a female in there.
Right. Yeah.
So
don't hurt anyone's feeling they got the boyfriend out on you.
Yeah.
Or the dads come and looking for
the dads, yeah.
Right. Anyway, well, as you know, today's done. His game's over. Not much we could do. A draw is I always call it's a dross. It's like a loss. 2 points dropped. We can't do anything about it. We move on. Hopefully, we move on for better. We could do better and hope for better in the next game. That's all we can hope for. And hopefully we could kick on from there, because these games are going to come so quick and so fast. And if we keep dropping 1 point, 2 points here, Europa League is here we come. We're going to hear that favorite music you don't like listening to for next season, because I know we're not winning Champions League. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they better get the act together. And Arsenal, Tottenham, West Ham are fighting for that fourth spot. We already know the top three. That's already nailed on. It's now fighting for fourth spot. And that's where we are. Yeah. Sad. Considering, like you said, the season had a lot of optimism, Sancho, Varane, we look like we could challenge. And just went like a
I don't know did you see Gary Neville's comments at halftime and stuff like that?
No, I've not checked him. What was he saying?
He was like his comments at halftime. Where is it? I did get it sent to me. I'll show you. I'll read it to you. Right. 2 seconds. Here it is. Here. He's actually I'll give you Harry Maguire's full-time comment. He said the training ground has been shut. Half the lads playing today are recovering from the virus, so of course it is not going to help us. We don't want to use it as an excuse, but of course it has a big impact on the game. That's Harry Maguire's excuse,
and that's the reason why he was playing so badly too. For the last 7 games, that's the reason, because there was no COVID then. How it was shit against City, against Liverpool, against Leicester.
So that's your manager, that's your captain coming out blaming something else, and he can sit there and say, "Oh, we can't use that as an excuse." Well, if you can't use that as an excuse, why say that in the first place? Why say it in the first place, right? So Gary Neville, he's come out and he said, so Man United players are a bunch of whinge bags, arms in the air, complaining about everything. Honestly, absolutely shocking in that first half. They've got the last manager sacked. They've all got, they all get a lot of managers to sack. That's that lot if they carry on like that. So he's blaming the players for getting Ollie sacked. He's going to blame them for getting Rangnick. Well, Rangnick won't get the sack because he's going into a consultancy role.
Right.
But so there's a lot going behind the back that we're not seeing.
These, like you said, whinge bags, because most of them run to the agents and complain, blah, blah, blah. But,
that's right.
Like I said, something's got to give. They got to beat Burnley. There is no excuse and reason not to beat Burnley. Or you are looking at Europa League football next season. And that's all that is. Because like I said, these points and these games are going to come so fast. You're going to next game keeps going further and further and further away from you. Then what? See what I mean? So they have to beat Burnley to keep their hopes alive. And remember, like I said, that's why I still don't like the 2 games in hand. Nothing is guaranteed. Nothing's guaranteed. And when you're under so much pressure, and United don't do well under pressure. When there'll be a situation where they need to win the game against Brighton or Brentford, they'll go drop another 2 more points. See what I mean? So,
100%.
Yeah. So they're not the easiest team. They're not the game you could put your mortgage on. Like, that's a 3 points in the back. Oh no, no, you will lose.
Well, the other thing, that the transfer market will open in January. But then, at I read the last meeting they had with the fans. They believe they're going to change a lot of things. What are we going to do? Just continually keep buying players and try and win a comp?
They need to.
I'm hearing the academy. I'm hearing the academy's an absolute debacle as well and stuff like that.
They need to. I don't. They need to sell some food players. Lingard, Martial, Mata.
Lingard's at home with COVID.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, he was posting. He was posting on his Instagram while the game was going.
Mm-hmm. Well, he needs to move on in January. There's no point wasting and keeping moving on, move Martial on, move Mata on. Even so without Maguire, would you play Phil Jones?
Well, we can't do any worse with him there. We can't do any worse, mate. But the problem is, then you got players there. We've got Bailey there, so there's no need to. We've got Bailey there. Jones shouldn't even come into it. You Marcus Boy there, so he should straight in. But then he never got subbed. We made the 2 subs at half time, and then Manic came on. So we've only got 3 subs. So he can't do much there. So, but if I'm in the next game, I'm giving Varane and Marcus Boy a run.
Right.
Yeah. Even though Varane effed up today, but mate, you go and play FIFA, and Maguire's one of the slowest players in FIFA. I sold him because he gave me the shits that bad.
But he's playing always first name on the team sheet, bro. Always first name on the team sheet. Because he's the captain of the club. Yeah. Well, we have come to that time today. As you can all see, Adam is not happy with United. He has literally ripped into that team, giving them ratings of 2s and 3s and 4s. And, Adam is very generous with marks, but today he was taking no prisoners. He was going all out. No Christmas presents, no Christmas bonuses from Adam. He was taking them apart because it was a poor performance. It was literally poor. So there's no disguising it. There's no sugarcoating like, oh, they weren't lucky. No, they're poor. They were poor. And that's what we do on this channel. We don't sugarcoat bullshit. It is what it is. If it's bull, we call it out as bull. We're not going to say, oh, referee decisions didn't go their way. Nah. They were piss poor. Let's just call it as it is. And we can only but hope the game against Burnley will be better. It like you said, it can't get any worse. It can't get any worse than it actually already is. So let's hope there's a turnaround. Let's hope there's a turnaround going into the new year, because I tell you that we need something to move forward, because this, because a lot of fans have literally been waiting for this game in reference that no football for 2 weeks. When you've seen other teams play and United not playing, when they do play, like, really? Is this what I've been waiting for? Nonsense. So I mean,
well, so straight after this, I'm going to be listening to our Supporters Club podcast. It's on live on YouTube.
Right.
So I'm going to listen to that. It's called the United Pubcast.
Send me the link.
Oh, well, I'll send you the link. It's live. It'll be live in about 10 minutes.
Oh,
so the boys will be live on, and you can chat to them in the same time, and you can ask them questions and everything like that. So I'm very interested. I posed a couple of questions to the boys, and it'll be interesting to see what Tom and Larry, if Larry's on, what the boys have got to say about today's game.
Right. All right, cool.
I'll send you a link.
Adam, it's been an absolute pleasure once again.
Thank you. Thanks for having me again.
It's midnight for me. It's time to go like, woo, back to bed. I'll go to bed now. I just had a cup of tea just to get through the night. But yeah, it's been a pleasure. And I'd like to see you. We'd like to meet you up again for the preview for the Burnley game. Hopefully that
definitely I'll be on.
Yep. See you soon, Adam. You take care. God bless. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and we shall see Adam and the lads again later this week. From me and us, it's goodbye and good night. See you, mate. You take care.
See ya. Bye.
Bye.